Kawasaki set the sport utility world on fire back in 2002 when they debuted their ultra-powerful V-twin-powered Prairie 650. With its sporty handling and powerful engine, the Prairie was an instant hit with performance-minded 4x4 enthusiasts and GNCC racers alike. Today, the Prairie lives on as the Brute Force 650, and its engine's been used in several other ATVs, but it was back in 2004 when it got its highest performance calling when it was chosen to power Kawasaki's KFX700. The KFX700 remains mainly unchanged for 2007. It's still powered by the same 90-degree water-cooled V-twin 4-stroke engine with single overhead cams and 4 valves per cylinder, fed by twin 32mm carbs. A performance-tuned CVT transmission with single range forward, neutral, and reverse settings was chosen to make the KFX700 more versatile for a wider variety of riders and riding conditions. The KFX tubular steel chassis features an aggressive sport geometry designed specifically for the 700. Up front, a dual A-arm setup replaces the Prairie's McPherson strut front suspension. The lower A-arms are mounted closely together on Kawasaki's single-spar lower front frame rail, allowing for longer A-arms, helping to reduce bump steer. The KFX front suspension delivers 9.3 inches of preload adjustable travel, and front braking chores are handled by dual hydraulic discs with dual piston calipers. The KFX rear shock delivers 7.9 inches of preload adjustable travel. Using the Prairie's rear swing arm with shaft drive and sealed multi-disc rear braking system means less maintenance and worries on the trail for the KFX700 pilot. Another trail-friendly feature on the KFX is its easily serviceable air filter and airbox setup. Mounted high under the bodywork where the gas tank would normally reside, puts the air intake farther out of the reach of water on deep crossings. Access to the machine's 3.3-gallon fuel tank can be had underneath this panel at the back of the seat. The tank itself is mounted underneath the seat where the airbox would normally be to lower the machine's center of gravity. Color choices for 2007 include Kawasaki's Mean Lime Green, as well as their unique-looking Blue Meteor and Black Marble designs. Stab the throttle at any speed, and the KFX700 is ready to move out in a hurry. Its quick responding CVT transmission makes sure that you're always in the meat of the power. This came in especially handy on those frozen days with varying degrees of traction. The KFX motor is happy to plunk along exploring or trailblazing, and there's tons of mid-range power and top end that make wide open spaces seem surprisingly small. We're happy that all this performance comes with a surprisingly quiet exhaust. With a light front end, the KFX is easy to wheelie over trail obstacles. On long technical climbs, though, that light front end can sometimes make things a bit more tricky. Keep your weight forward and your momentum up, and the KFX700's monster motor can pretty much launch you over anything that gets in your way. With no compression braking system, we are fully dependent upon the KFX brakes to slow us down. While they have plenty of power, we wish the rear end had more feel and a more positive engagement. The 700 suspension is firm but not harsh in its initial part of the travel. With a tall ride height, the KFX is reliant on stiff suspension to help fight body roll, helping to give it its true sport quad handling characteristics. Combine those suspension settings with its 47-inch width, and the KFX700 is a surprisingly stable cornerer for its height and weight. Although we spent much of our time with the back end pitched out on the slippery winter trails of southern Ohio, this truly isn't indicative of the cornering nature of this machine. Combine the machine's light front end with the awesome hookup of the Holeshot XCT tires, and the KFX has a tendency to raise the front wheels before the back end has a chance to break loose in high traction conditions. Whenever you're in a high traction environment, the KFX definitely works best when being driven through the corners with the back wheels hooked up and biting. At 150 pounds, Pro-Am racer Aaron Meyer was unable to make full use of the KFX700 suspension travel, although he, as well as the rest of our test riders, were surprised at how well the 700 suspension worked most of the time. Although, with too much rebound damping and no way to adjust it, the 700 suspension sometimes packed down in the whoops, causing the rear end to swap. At around 260 pounds apiece, test riders Rob Freedy and Joe Magoo felt that the KFX700 suspension was spot on for most any trail riding application short of racing. For a bunch of guys used to riding lightweight manual shift sport quads, we can't believe what a blast we had during our winter test session with the mighty KFX700. Its CVT transmission truly made the most of the winter conditions of southern Ohio. Test rider Rob Freedy, longtime CVT critic, even cussed Kawasaki for taking the machine back before what he felt was a fair period of time for testing. Having a KFX700 in your garage is so great, if we can't talk Kawasaki into letting us test one for 08, we may just have to go buy one. For more info on the KFX700, log on to www.kawasaki.com.